Welcome, ladies and gents, to the fourth game here between Sheikh and ErwTann of the No Deck Duel. And that means no decks, ladies and gentlemen. No resource shipment, no military shipment, no upgrades, nothing of the sort. So this is on the Great Lakes map. And on the south part of the map here, we have Sheikh playing as the Maltese in the red, or the pink, sorry. And on the top part of the map, we have L'Inquisiteur, also known as ErwTann, playing as the French in the cyan. So as Mr. V already mentioned, I think this is very French favoured, simply because of the power of the CDBs and how good they are from an economic standpoint. And the fact that you're not going to have any cards. Malta rely heavily on cards such as the Wigner Court Construction, German Tongue. These are really, really like the crux, the foundation of Malta that give them a great edge in eco, in H2 and beyond. So I think, you know, it's going to be hard for ErwTann to kind of lose this. No pressure on ErwTann here. It's going to be awkward if he does lose this, but let's see how it goes.
No, I think the map does favor French highly as well, just because there is a lot of water here, and you know, France can absolutely go water. They can get a really great food economy, which is what most of their units rely on. And again, Malta does not have those defensive options to turtle like they normally would. We could see some clever uses of depots here as a way to counteract that, but I don't know. I want to root for Malta. That's the problem. I love Malta. I think they're such a fun civ. They have so much flavor, but against good old classic French, I'm on the same boat as you, Wiggy. I'd be surprised if ErwTann loses this one.
Yeah, we can see here that just looking at the sheer sort of food gathering here, already France just sort of slipping ahead a little bit. It's got an extra 60 coin here. I believe that's from a treasure, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it looks like he's also got his scout here, the good old French scout. He's going to be having a look as well. Let's just have a quick look at ErwTann's vision here. It's a very interesting map. I quite enjoy this map. It's a shame that it's not on the competitive ladder at the moment. I really enjoy it. And once again, we talk about the water and how important it is. We do have a lot of food here that you can easily take half of this for yourself. What is that? That's an easy, you know, 2,500 food that could be yours. So is that something that the players are going to take advantage of, I wonder?
It's possible. The one thing that makes this different from a regular water map is that all of your fishing would be exposed to land units. So
yeah, that's true. Very true.
That makes it not as viable, but I do like the length of the map and the fact that the rush distance is pretty long. So if you do want to play something economic on water, you have a little bit of room to do that, but not a ton. So honestly, without the cards that make them, you know, as strong as they are, what does Malta do here? This is one of those civs that, me coming from Legacy, I'm relying on your knowledge to kind of tell me what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, a lot of the ways that Malta is normally played is very, very like heavily reliant on cards. You know, the normal standard meta, you could say, is opening up with German Tongue, and then you normally go into Wigner Court Construction, which is a huge economic boost card that is so good for Malta. But we don't have access to any of those. So if I was Malta, I would probably think about rushing. And the reason that is, and we can see some vills coming out here, I'm not too sure. It looks like they're just going to be bringing in a hunt. But I would think about potentially trying to go for the double racks, or at least one racks, because remember, Malta's racks, they only cost 100 food. Sorry, 100 wood, sorry. It's just, I can't remember what the actual name of, it's like some kind of camp. I can't even remember the blooming name of it.
Yeah,
but anyway.
It's, there are so many names for everything, and it's basically all the same thing, right? It's a barracks.
Yeah, it's a barracks, but it costs only 100 wood, so it's fantastic for Malta, especially in this kind of setting without a deck. You don't have as much wood, right? So, I don't know. Maybe that could be an option. A hospital, that's what it's called. A hospital. Thank you, ErwTann. So, yeah, we can still see... We can actually see that we've got steel traps on the way now for Sheikh. And if we have a quick look at... Oh, we do see...
There it is.
ErwTann's actually going for the forward racks. So, it's not actually Sheikh here. So, you can see steel traps coming in a little bit behind Sheikh here. But ErwTann, once again, has got a little bit more economy because he's got those CDBs that are going to give him extra resources.
I think we're just going to see an all-in musket rush. I mean, he does have... Oh, maybe not. No, he still has 4 villagers on gold. So I think we're just going to see a lot of muskets. There they are in queue.
Yep.
At the 5-minute mark, they're going to pop out at around 6 minutes. That's going to be really tough for Malta to deal with without any outposts, without a commandery. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. But what do we see here? I didn't spot this. We do see, as I mentioned, the double hospital on the other side. So we got the classic. We got the rush on the opposite sides here. So it's kind of whoever gets. Yeah, we kind of get like whoever gets troops out the quickest. And it looks like it. Unfortunately, it's going to be. Unfortunately for Sheikh, it's going to be ErwTann here. So ErwTann's going to have his 5 musks are going to be walking on down now to Sheikh's base and going to be seeing what they can do. However, no, we do see the actually 7 crossbow now coming in. So around exactly the same time, we've got units pushing in on both sides, and we need to be careful here. But the CDBs can hold their own. They're very, very strong villagers, so he might actually be able to be okay there. But let's have a quick look over down. I'm going to have to move around a lot here, guys, on the map because we've got rushes happening on both sides.
Yeah, but just look at all of the safe food that France has in his base. He has the 2 hunts he brought in, plus look at his sheep count. Yeah, they're not fattened, but that's a nice chunk of food that can be gathered right in front of your town center so that you don't have to worry about...
Oh, this is not where you want to keep your eye on this. There we go. Oof. That was lucky. That was very lucky.
Yeah, it's fortunate that crossbows don't do a ton of damage to villagers, so ErwTann was able to get them back. And, you know, the HP of the CDB, like we said at the beginning, coming into play here. If those had been regular bills, probably would have lost 1 or 2.
And we can see here that, you know, ErwTann doing a great job with picking some vills off. Sheikh not as successful to get a vill kill, really, because CDBs have such a high HP. He is, however, shoot me down. There it is. 1 CDB going down. Sorry, I jinxed it. There it is.
I find it so interesting. Neither player is going back to defend their own base. They're both just trying to do the most damage they can because, I mean, if Sheikh goes back, his units hard counter what ErwTann is making, but maybe he just doesn't think that's worth the time to do. But he has been cut off from both of his hunts. He can't put anything in. So the food that's in his base is the food he has.
Whoa, we've just got 141 raid from A's.
Oh,
big boy A's coming in with 141 strong. Thank you very much, dude. Welcome, everyone, to the No Deck Duel events between Sheikh and ErwTann. I've got my good friend on this side here, Mr. V, who's from the Legacy side, used to cast on the Legacy side, so he's returning back. So give him a warm welcome. We've been casting together this matchup today, and it's currently 2-1 to Sheikh, and you cannot use any kind of deck here. You can't use any deck. And we'll make sure to give you a bit more detail after this matchup, definitely. But yeah, here we go. So we got the double rushing is still occurring. Or hang on, no, Sheikh's.
Oh, there it is.
There they go. So the crossbows are going to be returning back. He's coming home.
Oh man, see, I'm curious. Is that Azak or a different
It is. Yeah.
That is. Oh, classic Azak. I was actually watching Saturday SmackDown, some of those old VODs, and Azak just dominated that series. So great legacy player, was known as probably one of the most entertaining players. So that's awesome to see he's still active. Ravnak, I was a Dror, so DROR. You're about to find a very, very low ELO because right before I quit, I sucked at the game. I hadn't played in a while, came back, lost probably like 12 matches in a row, went right back to not playing. So, but anyway, Malta going back to defend, and so is France.
So interesting. They're kind of doing like a little switch here. So they basically, for you guys that have just entered, we had a double we had a mid-rack situation on both sides of the lake. So Sheikh did his double hospital on this side, and ErwTann here did his racks on the other side. And they were both basically attacking each other without actually going back to defend. But now it looks like they've decided to sensibly go back to each other's base for now. And we can see here that, you know, ErwTann's got his batch of musks here. However, ErwTann has now decided to start creating Huss, which is going to be really, really good. He's going to be able to try and get some raids, and we can see this is going to be really disastrous for Sheikh here. We see some crossbow trying to push out here, and there's no pike I see from him at the moment.
Are they at the top? Oh, they're at the top of the map, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I think they're at the top. Yep. His pike are at the top here, so it's going to get a nice cleanup, which is going to be beautiful. Here we go. There's a push here. I've got to try and capture both of these guys, so just bear with me. The 4 Huss are here, and that is absolutely huge. There it is.
The cavalry's here, and yeah, those crossbows aren't making it home. They're not even going home. They're going to the enemy base. Seek cover in the trees, boys. It ain't going to do anything.
There you go. So all those crossbow are going to get cleared up, and that's ErwTann's kind of signal to just push in on the other side. Even though the musketeers are going to get countered a little bit by the crossbow, the musketeers are going to be able to clear that out quite well. And look at the score gap now. You can see it. It's quite prevalent, and he's going to be able to push the double hospital of Sheikh's here. And we can see he's got 20 vills against Sheikh's 23. But as we mentioned, CDB's very, very good villagers. He's going to be ahead. Definitely there.
And I'm seeing it in the chat here, and I completely agree. I wonder how different things would be if the crossbows had those upgrade cards. Because the Maltese crossbows can get so strong if they get the right upgrades. But just base crossbows?
Yeah.
Not a very strong unit. And with the 3 Huss, even with the 4 pike there, I would just take this. Just go in.
Yeah, I mean, he can just try and front it the best he can. I mean, he should be, he wants to just play around with the Huss, just dance them around so the musketeers can pick off the pike. He's getting right to the edge of the map here as well, so he's going to be really, really, really squeezed. And we can see.
What is he doing with villagers so far out?
Yeah, what they do, they're crazy. Where'd they all come from?
There's 4 villagers. They're just straying. Oh, man.
There it
Maybe
is.
They were, I don't know, maybe they were just sick of how things were going back home, so they decided to move. Not a good choice as it turned out.
Indeed not. And we predicted this at the start, you know, not having access to a deck. France versus Malta. France is a very powerful civ in the no deck kind of matchup, and we definitely saw that here. So that means, ladies and gents, the best possible outcome. It is 2-2 of a best of 5, which means we are going to have the decider here, the 5th game between Sheikh and ErwTann. And I've just got to say a big thanks to Ace for the huge raid coming in. And it would be great. I can see Izad in chat, a very powerful player as well. And so is Ace as well. It would be great to have you guys involved in the next sort of matchup, the No Deck Duel matchup. It's just a best of 5. Very straightforward, very simple. But next time, I think me and Mr. V want to kind of do it live.
Yeah.
What would you think? Yeah. We can try and arrange it. It's very, very simple. Just going to be 2 people, a best of 5. You can't use a deck, and there are a few sort of rules that we do have, but it's very straightforward, and hopefully you guys would be interested in giving it a go.
Yeah, and I mean, this is Azank's bread and butter. Well, I guess I should ask, is Azank still known for doing some uncanny builds, or has he gone
definitely.
to standard?
No. A's never goes standard.
Yeah, well, you never know. People change, but I think even when we had cards, he really came up with some creative stuff. So, Azank, this might be your playground, but we'll definitely have to see. And I see some people in chat, talking about some of the OG guys from Legacy, like Interjection and Zuda and H2O. And I'm glad we still have some of those guys still playing, because I know Azank still plays, Kaiser Klein. I think Mito still gets on from time to time. So it's cool to see the old guard and the new guard starting to mix. I love it. I think it keeps the community strong, and I think that's why, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's why AoE 3, even after all this time, is still growing.